Have you ever looked in the mirror and wondered if your gray hair was making you look older, or if it could actually become your crown of style? The truth is, silver hair has the power to tell a story of wisdom, confidence, and beauty, but only if we care for it the right way. In today's video, I am going to share with you 11 common mistakes that many women over 50 make with their gray hair, and more importantly, how to fix them at home with tips straight from salon standards here in the US. These are lessons I have gathered from over 10 years of working with women across the country, from the sunny coasts of California to the dry heat of Arizona and the icy winters of the Northeast. Wherever you live, there is a way to help your silver shine. And here is something you do not want to miss. Mistake number 11 is one that most women in America completely overlook, yet it might be the reason your hair looks dull instead of radiant. Correcting it can make your hair appear brighter and more youthful in just a few weeks. Stay with me until the end, because I will also give you a free 7-day checklist called Brighter Gray, Healthier Scalp that you can start using right away. And while you are here, subscribe to this channel so you never miss another tip that could transform your look. Leave me a comment too, because your story or suggestion may inspire the next woman watching. So, are you ready to turn your gray hair into your signature crown of style? Let's begin. 1. Sticking to the same old hairstyle, outdated cut. As we age, our hair naturally changes in both texture and density. What looked flattering 20 years ago may no longer highlight your best features today. Holding on to an old cut often makes the face appear heavier and less vibrant, which can unintentionally add years to your look. Many women in their 50s and 60s tell me they feel stuck in the same style because it feels safe. But in reality, that safe choice can age you more than the silver strands themselves. The solution is to refresh your look with modern soft cuts that complement your current hair texture. Styles like a layered bob or lob, a textured pixie, or even long hair with airy layers can make a dramatic difference. These shapes lighten up the face, add movement, and instantly create a youthful energy. If you are in the United States, consider booking a dry cut and styling lesson. It is a wonderful opportunity to not only get the right cut, but also learn how to blow dry and style your hair at home. When talking with your stylist, ask specifically about face framing layers. They can soften features, draw attention to your eyes, and make your cheekbones pop in the best way. Let me share a story. A client of mine, Linda, 62 from Chicago, had been wearing her hair in a low ponytail for decades. We switched her to a layered lob that grazed her collarbone. The compliments she received were overwhelming, and she told me she felt at least 7 years younger. Personally, I experienced something similar. At 58, I decided to cut my own long, heavy hair into a shorter, layered style. The confidence boost was incredible, and even my grandchildren said, "Grandma, you look so stylish." Have you been holding on to the same haircut for years? Do you feel nervous about trying something new? Share your thoughts in the comments, because your story might inspire another woman to finally make that change. And now, let's move smoothly into another mistake that many women overlook, one that has just as much impact on how fresh and lively your hair appears. 2. Skipping regular trims every 6 to 8 weeks. One of the most overlooked habits among women embracing their gray hair is skipping trims. Silver strands tend to be drier and more fragile than pigmented hair, which means split ends show up more quickly. Once the ends split, the entire hairstyle can look dull and frizzy, no matter how much you condition. Have you ever noticed that even after using the best serums or oils, your hair still looks uneven? Often, the problem is not the product, but the neglected ends. The easiest way to solve this is to schedule trims every 6 to 8 weeks. You do not need to lose length. A simple technique called dusting removes just half an inch or less, targeting only the damaged tips while preserving your style. In my own experience, I used to wait 3 or 4 months between cuts because I wanted to keep my hair long. But the truth is, it never looked long and healthy, only long and tired. When I started dusting regularly, my hair instantly looked smoother and younger, and styling became effortless. In colder regions of the United States, especially the Northeast and Midwest, winter dryness makes matters worse. The icy winds outside and heated indoor air can dehydrate your hair faster. If you live in Boston, Chicago, or New York, you may want to schedule your trim a week earlier than usual during December through February. I once worked with Maria, 58, from Boston. She resisted trims because she wanted her hair to grow. When she finally agreed to try dusting every 6 weeks, cutting less than half an inch, she was amazed. Her gray hair stopped breaking, felt softer, and looked polished after every appointment. How long has it been since your last trim? Do you notice split ends when you run your fingers through your hair? Let me know in the comments, because sharing your routine could help another woman rethink her own. And just like trimming creates the foundation for healthier hair, the next step we will look at is another simple change that can completely transform how vibrant your silver strands appear. 3. Using the same products you once used for dark or colored hair. Wrong products. One of the most common mistakes I see women over 50 making is continuing to use the same hair products they loved when their hair was darker or color-treated. Gray hair is not just a different color, it is a completely different texture. It often feels coarser, drier, and is more prone to static. Old formulas that once gave shine and smoothness may no longer provide enough hydration or protection against dullness. Have you noticed your silver strands looking frizzy even after using your trusted conditioner? That is usually a sign your hair has outgrown those products. The solution is to transition to a system designed specifically for silver or white hair. Look for shampoos and conditioners labeled silver brightening or anti-yellow. Key ingredients such as argan oil, keratin, and hyaluronic acid are excellent choices. Argan oil deeply nourishes and tames frizz. Keratin helps strengthen fragile strands, and hyaluronic acid restores vital moisture. In the US, you can easily find these at Target, Ulta, or CVS, and do not hesitate to ask the beauty consultant in the aisle for guidance. I personally made this shift in my mid-50s. For years, I was loyal to a high-end shampoo meant for color-treated brunette hair. Once my grays started showing, it left my hair looking lifeless. Switching to a silver-specific formula changed everything. Within just 2 weeks, my hair felt softer and had a natural shine that I had not seen in years. One of my clients, Lon, age 55, from San Jose, experienced the same transformation. After swapping her old routine for a silver care set, she told me even her coworkers noticed how healthy and radiant her hair looked. Have you tried products made for silver hair yet? Or are you still relying on your old favorites? What results have you noticed? Share below because your experience might guide someone else who feels unsure about making the switch. Just like choosing the right products can revive dull strands, there is another everyday habit that has just as much power to make or break the beauty of your gray hair. 4. Skipping weekly deep conditioning treatments. Gray hair is structurally different from pigmented hair. The strands are often more porous, which means they lose moisture quickly. This leads to dryness, frizz, and a rough texture that makes styling feel like a constant battle. Have you ever noticed your silver hair looking puffy or hard to manage even right after washing? That is often the result of missing out on deep hydration. The fix is surprisingly simple. A deep conditioning mask once a week can transform the way your hair feels and looks. Apply a rich mask after shampooing, then enhance the effect by covering your hair with a heat cap or a warm towel for 10 to 15 minutes. This allows the ingredients to penetrate deeper, leaving your strands smoother, softer, and far easier to style. For women living in dry states like Arizona or Nevada, weekly treatments may not be enough. In those climates, I recommend deep conditioning twice a week and using a bedroom humidifier to maintain moisture in both your hair and skin. I experienced this change firsthand. In my early 60s, I used to skip masks because I thought conditioner was enough. But once I committed to a weekly ritual, my hair no longer had that wiry, brittle feeling. Denise, a 63-year-old client from Phoenix, also struggled with constant frizz. After 3 weeks of using a deep mask twice a week along with a humidifier at night, She saw her frizz reduce by nearly 50%. She told me she finally enjoyed leaving her hair down again. What about you? Do you already use a hair mask, or are you relying only on conditioner? How often do you pamper your hair with a deeper treatment? Share your habits in the comments, because other women may learn from your routine. Just as moisture can breathe new life into silver strands, there is another factor that silently affects how bright and fresh your hair truly looks. 5. Ignoring yellowing and brassiness in gray hair. One of the biggest frustrations many women face with silver hair is when it starts turning yellow or brassy. This often happens due to pollution, heat styling, or even the minerals in hard water. Instead of looking bright and radiant, your hair can appear dull and uneven. Have you ever looked in the mirror and wondered why your beautiful silver suddenly looks faded or yellowish? You are not alone, and the good news is that it is preventable. The best solution is to add a purple shampoo into your weekly routine. Because purple is opposite yellow on the color wheel, it helps neutralize brassy tones and restore brightness to your silver strands. Use it once a week to maintain vibrancy, but avoid overusing it since too much can leave behind a faint violet tint. Along with that, if you live in parts of the US with notoriously hard water, like many areas in the West and Midwest, consider installing a shower filter. Hard water minerals cling to the hair and can quickly cause discoloration. Using a clarifying or chelating shampoo once or twice a month can also help remove buildup and keep your silver clean and glowing. I have dealt with this myself. After moving to a city with hard water, I noticed my hair turning yellow no matter what products I used. Once I switched to a shower filter and added purple shampoo once a week, my hair color completely revived. One of my clients, Judy, age 60 from Dallas, had the same experience. After making these simple adjustments, she told me, her hair looked so bright in photos that friends kept asking if she had gotten it professionally colored. Do you use purple shampoo already, or are you still unsure about adding it to your routine? Have you noticed the effects of hard water on your hair? Share your experiences in the comments so other women can learn from you. Just as eliminating brassiness can give your gray hair back its sparkle, there is another everyday habit that plays a huge role in keeping your strands strong and youthful. 6. Overusing heat styling tools. Gray hair is naturally more fragile and tends to lose protein faster than pigmented strands. High heat from blow dryers, flat irons, and curling wands can break down keratin even more, leaving hair brittle and causing your silver to look dull rather than luminous. Have you ever noticed your ends feeling rough or your hair appearing less shiny after frequent styling? That is often a direct result of heat damage. The smartest way to protect your silver is to reduce how often you use hot tools. When you do style with heat, always apply a thermal protectant spray and keep the temperature at or below 365 degrees Celsius, 185 degrees Celsius. This range is high enough to style effectively, but low enough to reduce irreversible damage. If you are blow drying, finish with the Cool Shot button to help lock in shine and smooth the cuticle. Personally, I used to straighten my hair almost every morning, but once I embraced lower settings and relied more on my natural texture, people began complimenting how soft and healthy my hair looked. Seasonal conditions in the United States also make a difference. During the summer, walking from an air-conditioned car into Florida's humid heat or Arizona's dry sun can shock your hair. A simple silk scarf or lightweight wrap can act as an extra barrier, shielding your strands from sudden temperature changes. I think of my client Pauline, age 57 from Florida. She had a routine of blow drying on high heat daily, which left her hair rough and dry. After we switched her to a cooler setting and taught her to use a round brush, she noticed her hair felt smoother, and her friends kept commenting on the shine. How often are you using hot tools each week? Do you feel confident letting your natural texture show, or do you still rely on daily heat? Let me know in the comments, because your story might help another woman rethink her routine. And just as cutting back on heat can restore softness, there is another small shift that can add fullness and life to your style almost instantly. 7. Lacking natural volume. As we age, our hair density often decreases, which can leave the strands looking flatter and less lively. When hair falls limp, it not only affects the overall style, but can also make the face look more tired and less defined. Have you ever looked in the mirror and felt like your hairstyle just made your features fade instead of lifting them up? That is the effect of missing volume. The good news is that volume is something you can create with the right techniques and products. Lightweight mousse, root lifting sprays, and volumizing foams are excellent for adding lift without weighing the hair down. Blow drying your hair upside down or using a round brush at the crown can instantly boost fullness. Even subtle backcombing, when done gently, adds just enough structure to make your hair look youthful and bouncy. Personally, I found that simply spending an extra 90 seconds lifting my roots while drying gave me a completely different look. It took no extra effort, but suddenly I appeared fresher and more awake. In the US, you can find root lifting sprays and mousses at stores like Ulta and Sephora. Be cautious with heavy waxes or thick gels because they tend to flatten gray hair instead of enhancing it. According to market data in 2024, volumizing products for mature hair were among the fastest growing categories in beauty retail, showing just how many women are realizing the importance of body and lift in their styles. One of my clients, Brenda, 66 from Seattle, tried this adjustment. She added a simple root lifting spray and dedicated less than 2 minutes to lifting her crown area while drying. The change was remarkable. Her face looked slimmer, her eyes appeared brighter, and she said her friends kept asking what she had done differently. Do you already use volumizing products? Or are you hesitant to try them? What tricks have worked for you to keep your hair looking full? Share your ideas in the comments, because your tip might be exactly what another woman needs. And just like volume can transform the entire appearance of your hairstyle, there is another detail that can add richness and shine to your gray hair in ways you may not have considered before. 8. Believing, once you go gray, you should never color again. Many women assume that once their hair turns gray, coloring is off the table. In reality, the right touch of color can make gray hair look more dimensional, glossy, and elegant. Subtle lowlights, balayage, or even a simple gloss treatment can enhance your silver instead of covering it. Have you ever seen hair that looks like it has natural highlights shining under the sun? That is exactly the effect these techniques can create. The key is choosing tones that work with your skin's undertone. Cool or neutral shades tend to flatter gray hair and prevent it from looking dull. A gloss treatment every 6 to 8 weeks can boost shine, neutralize unwanted yellow tones, and give your silver a polished studio-like finish. If you are not ready to commit to permanent color, salons across the US offer semi-permanent gloss services that fade gradually without harsh lines. This is a great way to experiment while keeping your options open. I experienced this shift myself. At first, I resisted any form of color because I thought embracing gray meant avoiding dye completely. But when I finally tried a clear gloss, the change was incredible. My hair reflected light better, felt silky, and people kept asking if I had changed stylists. One of my clients, Ruth, age 60 from New York City, had a similar experience. She chose a clear gloss, and her silver strands looked like they had been lit under professional studio lights. She told me it was the best beauty decision she had made in years. What about you? Have you experimented with lowlights, balayage, or gloss since going gray? Do you prefer an all-natural approach, or are you curious about enhancing your silver? Share your thoughts in the comments because your perspective might inspire someone else to try something new. Just as color can add depth and shine to gray hair, there is another foundation of hair health that is often overlooked, yet plays a huge role in how vibrant your strands appear. 9. Neglecting scalp health. Healthy hair starts with a healthy scalp, yet many women over 50 overlook this essential foundation. When the scalp becomes dry or develops product buildup, it can lead to thinning, dandruff, itching, and weak regrowth. Have you ever noticed flakes on your shoulders even though you use conditioner regularly, or felt that tight, itchy sensation during the winter months? Those are signals that your scalp needs more care. The solution is to treat your scalp with the same attention you give your skin. A gentle exfoliating scrub once or twice a month helps remove dead cells and excess product. Following up with a balancing scalp serum and a few minutes of massage improves circulation, so the follicles receive more nutrients. In colder regions of the United States, like the Midwest and Northeast, the combination of freezing outdoor air and heated indoor spaces can worsen dryness. Instead of scratching or rubbing aggressively, opt for lightweight hydrating tonics. CVS and Walgreens often carry scalp exfoliating tonics, or serums designed specifically for mature hair concerns. I learned this lesson myself in my late 50s. I was focused only on conditioning my ends and completely forgot about my scalp. My hair felt limp and thin at the roots until I added a monthly scrub and a nourishing serum. Within a few weeks, I noticed new baby hairs along my hairline. One of my clients, Amy, 59 from Minnesota, saw a similar transformation. After 6 weeks of combining scalp exfoliation with a serum, she was thrilled to see small, healthy hairs sprouting evenly across her scalp. Do you currently have a scalp routine? Or do you focus only on shampoo and conditioner? How often do you think about exfoliating or massaging your scalp? Share in the comments, because your ideas might help someone who is struggling with thinning hair. And just as the scalp sets the stage for healthy growth, there is another factor that has more to do with confidence than products, yet it completely changes how we wear our silver hair. 10. Letting self-doubt and comparisons make you look older. One of the biggest mistakes many women make after going gray is believing the myth that gray equals old. This mindset often leads to playing it safe with hairstyles, makeup, and clothing choices. Instead of embracing boldness, women sometimes retreat into understated looks that unintentionally age them more than the silver itself. Have you ever caught yourself thinking, "I cannot pull that off at my age?" That thought alone can limit your style and confidence. The truth is, confidence is what makes silver hair shine. Building a personal style that feels authentic can completely change how others perceive you. A bright lipstick, statement earrings, or stylish glasses can instantly elevate your entire look. Even learning one signature bun or one blow-dry technique can make your daily routine easier and help you feel put together. In the US, stores like Nordstrom Rack, Kohl's, and Macy's are excellent for finding affordable yet chic accessories that highlight your individuality. I went through this myself. In my late 50s, I avoided bold colors and jewelry because I thought they would draw too much attention. But once I started experimenting with brighter lipstick and fun earrings, the compliments poured in. One of my clients, Nora, age 65 from California, experienced a similar shift. After switching to a voluminous bob and pairing it with bold earrings, she radiated such a modern, stylish aura that people told her she looked like she belonged on the cover of a fashion magazine. Do you sometimes compare yourself to younger women and feel less confident? Or have you tried adding a bold accessory that instantly lifted your mood? Share your experiences in the comments, because your story might give another woman the courage to experiment. And just as mindset can transform how your gray hair is perceived, there is another factor that has more to do with the environment around you than with the mirror in front of you. 11. Ignoring environmental protection in the US, UV, pools, and hard water. Many women with gray hair forget that the environment in the US can be just as damaging as styling tools. Strong UV rays dull silver strands and make them dry. Chlorine from swimming pools breaks down the cuticle, leaving the hair rough. Minerals in hard water, especially calcium and magnesium, cling to the hair and cause yellowing. Have you ever stepped out of the pool or shower only to feel your hair looks rougher or more faded than before? These are signs of environmental stress on your hair. The solution is about prevention and smart habits. Use a UV protection spray before going out in the sun, or even just while driving during the day, since car windows do not block all UV rays. Before swimming, wet your hair with clean water and apply a thin layer of conditioner to create a barrier. Then wash afterward with a chelating shampoo every 2 to 4 weeks to remove chlorine buildup. If you live in a region with very hard water, installing a shower filter or rinsing your hair with bottled or filtered water at the end of a shower can make a noticeable difference. In fact, Consumer Reports in 2024 highlighted a rise in sales of home water filters, showing that more households are realizing how much water quality affects both skin and hair. These solutions are easy to find. UV sprays, chelating shampoos, and shower filters are available at Amazon, Ulta, or even Home Depot. Personally, I noticed a major change once I started using a filter in my own home. My silver hair stayed brighter and felt less brittle during summer. My client Carol, age 70 from Scottsdale, went even further. She combined a wide-brimmed hat, UV spray, and chelating washes. The result was remarkable. Her hair maintained a platinum tone all summer without fading. Do you live in an area with strong sun or hard water? Have you tried protecting your gray hair from these hidden threats? Share your tips in the comments because what works for you might be a game changer for another woman. And just as protecting from the outside environment is essential, there are also internal habits that play an equally powerful role in keeping gray hair vibrant and strong. As we wrap up, let's pause for a moment and remember 3 key truths. First, gray hair deserves its own routine. It thrives when you use the right products, nourish it deeply, and protect it from the sun, hard water, and even the chlorine in swimming pools. Second, your cut, your volume, and those regular trims are what shape your entire look. Believe it or not, they account for at least 70% of how youthful and fresh you appear. And third, the strongest stylist you will ever have is your own confidence. Accessories and makeup are only finishing touches. Your silver strands are not a sign of aging, they are a story of achievement. Let them shine through a modern cut and healthy glow, and let them speak of the life you have lived with strength and grace. Now I would love to hear from you. Share in the comments what state you live in and the hairstyle you are most curious to try. That way, I can tailor advice to your local climate. And tell me too, would you like me to expand this into a full 10,000-word YouTube script with a 7-day checklist? Your story might just inspire the next woman watching.